For our next entry, which follows really well with platforming, we go to Metroidvanias, a genre that we were all eating very well in 2025, for an all-you-can-eat buffet of ice cream, cookies, cake, pizza, and the inevitable stomach ache that I think can fit with some of these games as well. For a genre that is often one of the more mechanically complicated ones to get right, there were quite a lot of them released last year that were all fantastic in very different ways. And the first pick goes to Pipistrello and the Cursed Yoyo, a top-down action-adventure, or as it's self-described, a Yoyovania, as you explore a city with yo-yo in hand, using tricks to deflate enemies and do a lot of movement tech. Despite the fact that this is a top-down game or isometric similar to that of the old Zelda games, there is a lot of movement tech that goes into this one, with some very challenging and devious sections for all your yo-yoing needs. This is all wrapped up with some great combat, a very interesting upgrade system as you have to take downsides until you can pay off your debt to have the buff at full power, and just a great variety of level design and story to go with it. This is a game that is very, I think, underrated and deserves more eyes on it. So if you are a fan of 2D games and you missed this one, this is a very easy recommendation, and I hope we see more people talking about it in the new year. The sequel to Ender Lilies, Ender Magnolias, was released, and we have our Metroidvania Souls-like pick for 2025, with some great art, some amazing music, and of course a lot of challenging jumps and challenging boss fights to play through. We did this all the way through, we beat all the bosses, got the true ending, died a whole lot in poison water, and much more. I would say Ender Magnolia is easier than Ender Lilies was, but still has a lot of bite. And once again, you'll be trying to create a build based on your various helpers, and just another really great entry. While it's definitely not as new as Ender Lilies was, Ender Magnolias is still a fantastic follow-up. And in a year of very fantastic follow-ups in Metroidvanias, that definitely deserves at least a feather in its cap. Speaking of follow-ups, our next game is a follow-up to Touhou Lunar Nights, and that is BladeChimera from Team Ladybug, not to be confused with another team that made a Metroidvania in 2025. We're replacing fantasy for sci-fi as you explore a post-apocalyptic world with sword and gun in hand. This is a very mechanically tight Metroidvania. There's not a lot of padding or bonus stuff in this one, and it is just going to be a challenge from beginning to end, especially if you're going for the true ending, super optional, ultimate masochistic boss. What you get with this one is just an incredibly well executed take on the genre with great combat, some very interesting movement tech, and a bunch of quality of life features that just make it a very easy game to play despite the challenge. If you miss this one and you like more kind of mechanically dense but not overly long games, then it is a very easy recommendation. Clockwork or time loop style games are some of the more fascinating ones to examine, and my next pick takes that into the Metroidvania category with the good old days, as you must try and save your friends and go back to that wonderful year of 1980X in order to do so. This is a very multi-layered game, as each time you play it, you have a fixed amount of time to explore the world, completing the objectives, and your major progress that carries over is in the form of different items that you find. So the game itself is built very much on you replaying it with very different routes based on where you're at in the game, which characters you've rescued, and this one definitely has more than what meets the eye at the start. While it can be a little bit weird with the physics at times, it's still a really great showing of how to do a Metroidvania built on a time loop or repeated plays, as well as the level design that is required to make that work. If you have any interest in this particular style of design, this is a very big recommendation to check out for it. Our next pick is for the colorful and very challenging Constance, This was, I believe, the final Metroidvania we played in 2025. And we are exploring a beautiful and paint-filled world, trying to get out of it and reclaim our kind of mental sanity in the process. Another great combination of movement, combat, and exploration. As you'll explore this world, and we make use of a lot of different movement tech to get around. And don't let the very beautiful visuals fool you. This is a very challenging game. And as I'm recording this particular intro, I still gotta get my review up for the game. There's just so much to do at the end of 2025 into 2026. So do not let, kind of again, the aesthetics fool you. And that can certainly be blindsided. You're going in as expecting more on the lighthearted side, as there are even some challenges that threw me for a loop near like the middle and kind of the final quarter. But if you have somehow ran out of challenging Metroidvanias to play and looking for a very colorful and exceptional take on it, then this is another very easy recommendation. Metroidvanias can be a very hit or miss genre, and some of the best examples have been those that have taken a long time to be developed, and one of those was Zexion. This game was in development for quite a while and was finally released, and we have just one of the most exceptional takes on the kind of shooter-based Metroidvanias, the Metroid of the Metroidvania name. In this, you will get a variety of areas to explore, challenging and variety movement tech, and some of the nastiest and advanced bosses you will see in any Metroidvania. Multi-phase, multi-pattern, transforming, and more. They will put you through your paces and then some. The game also shipped with a full-on randomizer and advanced challenge if you want to go for that coveted 100% and the true ending. This is just a phenomenal title. If you are anyone who enjoys Metroidvania design, especially looking for one that's going to put you through your paces, this is an easy recommendation. I don't know if we'll ever see a Zexion 2 in the future, but I am certainly going to be enjoying this one for a very long time. And at some point we have to dive back in for the randomizer run. So with that, we wrap up another section. We covered all the amazing Metroidvanias, and I'm sorry, what? I'm sorry, the imaginary earpiece I'm wearing has told me that we did this joke last year. There's of course one final pick for our favorite Metroidvanias of 2025. Consider this the true ending secret route pick, and it goes to, of course, Hollow Knight Silksong. Another follow-up to an amazing Metroidvania with another developer that has team in their name. Silksong, again, across the board, hits every checkbox of amazing Metroidvania design. Challenging variety levels, a lot of interesting enemies and boss fights, so much movement tech, secrets, more secrets, multiple endings, and the game hasn't even gotten its first DLC yet at the time of me recording this one. Really, there's not much I can really say about Silksong because everyone has already said it and then some. If you are a fan of the original Hollow Knight, it's like being welcomed back with a gentle breeze, and then followed by a few punches in the chest in terms of how much more challenging it is. In terms of playing Silksong, again, if you have any, and I do mean any, interest in playing a challenging Metroidvania that's going to certainly give you a lot of bang for your buck, then do I even need to recommend to you at this point? And we will be returning to Silksong eventually, when all the DLC is out, when I can do the White Palace plus 2, 3, 4, 7, and more. And who knows when we will see a third game from the developers. Will we even still be alive? Will the sun still be in the sky when Hollow Knight 3 is released? Who knows? And with that, yet another fantastic part comes to an end. This was a great year, at least in terms of game releases. Now what 2026 will bring, who knows? So, if you somehow played more Metroidvanias than me and have another one that I didn't cover, be sure to let me know about your favorites down below. We are now into our final 5 categories, I believe. We're going to get this done, folks, I promise you. And with that, have a great night, and see everyone next time for our next part. Thanks for watching, and a special thank you to our Patreon supporters. If you enjoyed the video, do the YouTubing stuff, be sure to visit our Discord and Patreon, and you're interested in more in my thoughts on design, check out my game design books.